The right angle triangle shown below has sides x minus 7, x, and x plus 1. Find the value of x. So this is a right angle triangle, so we're going to use Pythagoras' theorem. So Pythagoras' theorem is c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So we label our triangle. The c must be the longest side. The longest side is always looking across at the right angle. And then the a and the b will be the other two sides. It doesn't matter what way you label the a and the b, so long as the c is the longest side. So c squared is going to be x plus 1 to be squared, equals a squared, which is going to be x squared, plus b squared, which is x minus 7 to be squared. Make sure you've got brackets around the x plus 1 and around the x minus 7. So now we need to do some rough work. So x plus 1 to be squared is x plus 1 times x plus 1, which is going to be x times x plus 1 times x plus 1. Then x times x is x squared, x times 1 is 1x, 1 times x is 1x, and 1 times 1 is 1. So then we bring down the x squared, and 1x plus 1x is 2x, and we bring down the plus 1. So we have x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to, so then we bring down the x squared, we bring down the plus, and then we're going to do more rough work. So x minus 7 to be squared is x minus 7 times x minus 7. So we're going to have x times x minus 7 times x minus 7, which gives us x squared minus 7x minus 7x plus 49, which gives us x squared minus 14x plus 49. So we write that in here. So there's the x squared minus 14x plus 49. So next we're going to simplify. So we'll bring down the x squared plus 2x plus 1, and we're going to bring everything else over the equal sign. So x squared comes over the equal sign and becomes minus x squared. This x squared comes over the equal sign and becomes minus x squared. This minus 14x comes over the equal sign and becomes positive 14x. And this 49 comes over the equal sign and becomes minus 49. And that's all equal to 0. So then we simplify. So x squared minus x squared will cancel. And we bring down the remaining minus x squared. And then 2x plus 14x is 16x. And 1 minus 49 is minus 48. And that's equal to 0. Then we multiply across by minus 1 because we always want the x squared to be positive. So that will change all the signs. So minus x squared becomes positive x squared. Plus 16x becomes minus 16x. And minus 48 becomes plus 48. And that's equal to 0. So now we're going to factorize our quadratic trinomial, because ultimately we're trying to find the value of x. So we want to solve. But before we solve, we have to factorize. You could alternatively use the minus b formula here. So in our rough work, we're going to factorize x squared minus 16x plus 48. We bring down the x squared, we bring down the plus 48. We're going to break this up into two parts. This plus tells me the signs are the same. This minus tells me they're both minus. And we need to get the factors of 48. So we have minus something x, minus something x. So this plus tells me that these two signs are the same. And then this minus tells me that they're both minus. So we're going to choose one of the factor pairs. That is going to give us minus 16x. So we're going to go with 4 and 12, because minus 4x minus 12x is minus 16x. It doesn't matter if you put the 4 here or the 12. So you can have minus 4x minus 12x, or you could have minus 12x minus 4x, because whichever way you arrange them, you're going to end up at minus 16x. So if both of the signs are a plus or both of the signs are a minus, then it doesn't matter what way you arrange your factor pair. However, in other examples, if these were different signs, if one was a plus and one would be a minus, you'd have to be very careful with how you arrange them. So for this particular example, it doesn't matter. So I have the minus 4 first, but you could have put the minus 12 first if you wanted. So we factorize the first two terms. So x squared divided by x is x, and minus 4x divided by x is minus 4. So then we're going to factorize the right two terms, so minus 12x plus 48. So minus 12x divided by minus 12 is x, and 48 divided by minus 12 is minus 4. So now we can see we've minus x minus 4 in both brackets. So x minus 4 is the first part of our answer, and then we bring down the x and the minus 12, and that's the second part of our answer. So now we have factorized. So we're going to bring that over here. So we have x minus 4 multiplied by x minus 12 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 4, positive 4, or x is equal to positive 12. But we actually have to go with 12 as our answer. So x must be 12, because if x was 4, then side B, which is over here, side B, would end up being 4 minus 7, which is minus 3. And we can't have a negative length. That doesn't make sense mathematically. So if we were to sub in x to be 12, let's say, for example, on side B, we would have 12 minus 7, which would give us a positive answer. Whereas if we sub in x is equal to 4, we'd have 4 minus 7, which would give us a negative answer. And you can't have a negative length. So the actual solution here is just 12. So find the value of x. X is equal to 12. So if the question went on to ask you, well, what are the actual measurements of the sides of the triangle? Well, then side A, which we originally had as x, that would just be 12, because we know that x is equal to 12. Side B would be x minus 7, so 12 minus 7, which is 5, so 5 units. And side C is x plus 1, so that would be 12 plus 1, so that would be 13. So side C is 13 units. But we weren't asked to find the actual measurements, so we can just leave it as x is equal to 12. That's the value of x.